Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we've been talking a lot lately about the state of Disney, the dismal Disney news and all the drama going on with the politics right now and the price gouging. And before that, we had controversy over their mask mandates and all this other stuff. And in all of these cases, Disney employees tend to take the brunt of corporate's decisions.
The employees, the cast members that you usually are the ones that you deal with, like on the phones or in person, not the higher ups who make the decisions. People that have to carry out the orders of the higher ups are the ones who take the brunt of the abuse.
Yeah, so we want to talk a little bit about that, and if you're angry at Disney for decisions that corporate has been making lately, just please remember that there are normal people working for the company, and those are the front-facing people at Disney, and don't take your anger at the company out on them. They didn't do anything wrong. They're just doing their jobs.
A lot of them, also agree that Disney should remain apolitical, and they're just doing their job.
Yeah, before people say, hey, they should just quit, I'm like, well, they have families to feed and bills to pay.
I would say that if you really feel strongly, about what's being done one way or the other, and you feel like you cannot
look for a way out.
Yeah, if you personally, it goes against your personal beliefs and you're going to be miserable being there, then don't stay there. But I'm talking about people that are mad about decisions that Chapek and company are making, taking them out on cast members, be it, over the Florida bill, be it over like mask mandates or, price hikes or all that. It's not those cast members' fault. They have absolutely no say in it. They have no way to even get a message to the higher ups to tell them, well, this, Kelly called at 3:10 and she's pissed and she wants me to personally tell you, Chapek.
Kelly.
I don't know, I just made up a name. So I'm like, it personally wants to tell you that she's mad. It doesn't work that way. So taking it out on these people was going to accomplish nothing.
Yeah, so let's talk about that because we definitely have had our disagreements with the Walt Disney Company. We know a lot of people that work at the company, different parts of the company.
And it's not their fault.
It's not their fault. They're just carrying out marching orders. And unfortunately, the employees are getting caught in the crossfire of all this bullshit going on right now. So let's talk about that before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 263,000 subs.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you for the support. We do talk a lot about Disney, having worked in and around the company for a number of years. No, I did not get fired from Disney. Everybody keeps saying I did. I did not.
Well, not everybody. One dumbass.
One dumbass. No, there's a handful of dumbasses.
Okay,
listening to one.
A fistful of dumbasses.
A fistful of dumbasses. Yeah, I actually worked primarily as a contractor, and then we worked with media at Disney. So no, I didn't get fired.
No, we chose to leave so we could be honest.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, because that's the thing. Disney, even their contractors, if you're a contractor for Disney, you're basically expected to abide by the same rules.
What rules? Because when you were there was a hell of a lot more rules than there are for like Marvel people and stuff.
That's why I was shocked. I was like, Marvel freelancers were allowed to run at the mouth.
We were told you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, I had papers I had to sign that you were not going to disparage customers, you're not going to disparage a company, you're not going to, so I don't know. Anyway, different time. Disney was different.
Like 2 years before that. Anyway.
Disney was different back then.
So we're talking about this because somebody brought this to our attention as a person who worked for Disney about the abuse they're taking. Now, I want to say, like, if you go to the parks and stuff, the reason people keep coming back is because they like the experience. And the reason they like the experience is because the cast members you interact with. They are the heart of Disney. The cast members, we've said this many, many times, are the heart of the company. Unfortunately, they are the ones that are treated the worst, not only by management, but also by the customers. And a lot of them are there and they choose to be there because they really love to interact with people. They love Disney themselves, or what Disney used to be anyway, and they want to be part of it. So somebody wrote and said, talking about the Disney backlash about how it's impacting cast members.
Yeah, so you were having a conversation with somebody on social media about the situation, somebody that worked for Disney. We're not gonna say where and who because we know there are crazy people that watch our videos.
Right, I don't want anybody to get harassed.
We don't want anybody to get harassed, but this is basically what they're saying. So
yeah, they're basically talking about how it impacts cast members, and this person has worked for Disney for a long time, done many different positions at Disney. They spent some years, their most recent stuff they've been doing is Disney Plus, and they're talking about the way the cast members are being treated by people calling up to cancel their subscription. People that are on the phone lines, be it, Disney Plus or for the Disney parks, the reservations and stuff, are the front line that get most shit when something goes down people don't like. Okay. So when you're calling these people up to cancel your trip or to be, I'm canceling Disney Plus, it's not their fault. They have nothing in it. They have no decision-making power. They are just answering the phone, and they get a shit ton of abuse, and it's not cool. And they said people, on both sides, like that, we saw that with the Florida bill. People on both sides are pissed and were calling to cancel subscriptions and trips, and they were taking it out on the people on the line. They curse at them, they berate them, they talk about the horrible behavior, they throw horrible insults at them. I believe it because we get it just covering it as news, reading other people's articles sometimes.
Oh yeah,
It's all somehow our fault completely.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the absolute insanity of the things people say to these poor customer service reps who are some of the nicest people. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, you want good customer service, and some of the friendliest, most helpful customer service out there is Disney customer service.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and we've seen some stuff in the parks too that we're like, God, I could, I think to myself, like, I could never work in the parks because I would seriously give it back to somebody. You can tell they try to, they're sort of biting their tongue, like, okay, have a magical day, you dumb bitch. I hate you, but I can't say that. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, and then, they had to hit the bottle afterwards because they're just, like, so sick of it. But they were, like, yelling stuff at this person, like, how dare you work for this company?
Yep.
Insulting their parents, all that kind of stuff. There's people talking about... This person themselves figured out how to you could kind of tell which ones were going to be difficult. So they were able to, minimize the contact. But some of the other people they worked with weren't able to do that as much. And they just, they said women especially were just getting berated. And they said that they're basically told just do your best because that's all you can do.
Yeah, I could say it's the company's fault for putting their employees in harm's way by taking very polarizing public political decisions and positions, and that's why they're getting abused. Right,
and they get it, and Disney somehow has people pissed off all over the place. They've simultaneously pissed everyone off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the poor cast members on the phone lines are taking all the abuse. And I'm just asking, if you're going to be calling to cancel a trip or cancel your Disney Plus subscription because you're mad at something the company has done, do not take it out on the cast members. It is not their fault. They have no say in this at all. And you're probably finding some of the people actually agree with your position. Whichever side you're on, you might have a cast member completely agrees with you. But that's not their job is to handle your call.
Yeah, now I do think one way or the other, I think people will probably leave Disney on their own because, we said before, if you're not comfortable working for a company, regardless of their position, and it conflicts with your values, then, you're best to look for something else so you don't have to feel conflicted every day.
Right.
And I have to wonder how many employees, especially in Florida, might be like, yeah, you know what, it's time to move on. Epic Universe is hiring.
Yeah, they're going to be hiring a lot of people.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, too. Disney themselves with their own behavior. Well, like when they call their people cast members. Until they go to lay you off permanently, then you're employees.
Yeah, I found that to be disgusting. That was
So
wrong.
Just so you know, you can cancel your Disney Plus through the app. You can cancel your trips online. Well, sometimes you have to call. It depends.
Depends on how close you are.
This is another reason why I recommend using a travel agent. That's a Disney trusted travel agent because they handle all that for you and you don't have to deal with anyone. So if you need to cancel something, you just tell them and they handle it for you. You don't have to call Disney and talk to people at Disney if you're upset with Disney people. Okay? So you're not yelling at anybody unfairly.
Well, this is kind of why with publishing deals and stuff like that there are agents involved because a lot of times the creators and the studios and the publishers, they're butting heads, so they put the agents in the middle to try to buffer.
Right, like a third party.
Yeah. It's not as emotionally invested.
Yeah, so they can look at both sides because I think there's oftentimes they say there's three sides to any story, each side and the truth.
Yeah,
and I think that the third party's in there to try to be the bumper, the one who looks at, okay, well, you're wrong here, but you're right here. You're wrong here, you're right here. But when it comes to cast members, they just take all the shit for the choices that Disney makes. And I know the theme parks especially has been one where people are calling and canceling their trips because of it's gotten so ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
With, Lightning Lane, and then you have to pay for this and have to have a park reservation and all that crap, and people are just like over it, so they're canceling. And it's actually pretty easy to cancel this stuff. They don't try to like talk you into it like a lot of places, like, are you sure you want to leave? I don't think they do that so much at Disney, at least not with the vacation packages.
No, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll ask if you want to reschedule. They'll take your credit, your room credit or whatever, and apply it, someplace else because they don't want to lose that booking altogether.
But they're not rude about it, and you get your money back. I mean, as long as you're within the agreed to deadline, like you have you have to have so much money you get back depending on how far out you are from your trip, and you agreed to that. So other than that, usually you can get it all back.
We had one trip they actually gave us all of our money back, and they didn't legally have to, but they gave us our room deposit and everything back because there was a hurricane.
Right, and it was flights were getting canceled. And we were driving, but it was bad and the roads weren't good. Yeah, and they said, well, if you're driving, we sure as heck don't want you getting in an accident coming down here. So they were really nice, but I'm just saying, and we see it at the parks all the time, like, someone's mad about a price of something and they start screaming at the cast member. That cast member did not set that price. Yeah, prices were raised on something. That person did not raise that price. It's not their fault.
I think we're going to see more stories of Disney grunts, and I'm not trying to be offensive, but I'm saying like the frontline workers taking abuse for management's poor decisions. Yeah. And it's really unfortunate. I mean, this is the problem with, Disney getting into, the political debate the way that they have is they basically put crosshairs on all their employees.
Yeah, and it's not the employee's fault. Some of them might even agree with your stance.
We saw this, a year or so ago with the mask mandates and all that, and these are employees that they have to enforce.
People are getting spit on because they were asking people to wear masks when they were in areas they were supposed to wear masks.
Yeah, and the thing is that look, regardless of how you feel about the masks, and Florida's been a lot more, forgiving about that than other states, obviously. But, the cast members are doing their jobs. They're told, you got to make sure everybody's got their masks on. You got to make sure that they're, staying distanced. And this person could literally lose their job if they break the rules. Like, yeah, you know what? Screw masks. Well, I guarantee you that person is done at the end of the shift.
Yeah, and exactly. And people that were spitting on people get lifetime bans and stuff like that. It's not worth it.
No.
But I get the frustration though, because what are you supposed to do? Because you're mad. You want to tell somebody at Disney you're mad, but you're not allowed to talk to the people who make the decisions. Of course you're not. They shield themselves to everybody else. They wrap themselves in a little bubble of people.
A people bubble?
People bubble to make sure that they always stay, their hands are clean and everybody else has to deal with all the shit.
A meat wrap.
Yeah, meat wrap. They're the center of the meat wad, and they make sure that everybody else
dirty.
Yeah, everybody else, takes the brunt of it, and they just sit there in their ivory towers, like doling out, like cut the portions because they're too fat, and stuff like that. And other than you can make pot shots at them on social media and things like that. A lot of them don't pay attention. I get the frustration. How else are you supposed to get the point across? Well, you're canceling your stuff. Trust me, the way you get a point across to Disney is yes, talk with your wallet because they care about bad PR and losing money.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And this is why we did the video yesterday on the damage control. The reason that there's damage control is now it's starting to affect their bottom line. People are speaking out. They are, I believe, canceling their Disney Plus memberships. I know a lot of people said that they're canceling Disney Plus in protest. I don't know. If it's going to have that much of an effect on them, even if it does, even if they lose a bunch of subs, they will find a magical way to spin it at the next investor call. They're not going to be like, yeah, a bunch of people canceled because they were angry about our political hot takes. They're going to be like, well, because now everybody's going outside because the pandemic's basically over. They just,
Right. But eventually they have to acknowledge it. I mean, and that's what happens. And the thing is, I've seen a lot of reports. People come back from trips to the parks and they're talking about how short and unfriendly the cast members are. And I kind of have to wonder, well, one, I know they're understaffed. They aren't paid worth shit, and they sure as hell aren't paid enough money to take a lot of the shit they take. And I think they might be, short because they've been abused so many times. They're just like, I don't even fucking care at this point. Like, I don't care. You know what, Karen? Go get another glass of wine and chill the shit out. So I'm thinking that might be part of why that they're seeing a decline in the way the cast members are even acting towards guests, because they're going to get abused no matter what.
Why bother?
Right. They're not paid enough to put up with that shit.
Yeah.
We've seen the most entitled people at the parks too. Like, you won't believe the stuff they get pissed over. It's stupid.
Well, this is a couple of years ago. This is before the pandemic, New York Post. And we've seen a lot of incidents like this. They're talking about how one female staffer had to inform a visitor who was staying at the Grand Floridian, $600 a night, I think it's more than that now, that he had shown up at the wrong time for a ride via Disney's virtual line waiting service FastPass. After the worker let the guest go ahead anyway, the irate man grabbed her shoulder and yelled, "I'm not your slave, and you don't tell me what to do."
Yeah. I'm not surprised. And that person, because he touched a cast member, has probably got himself kicked from the park.
Another cast member was scratched, elbowed, and shoved by a 36-year-old Frenchman because the way the poo ride wasn't working.
Right, because it's their fault.
A third one was pushed by a 64-year-old Canadian man who was impatient about exiting Splash Mountain after the ride broke down. "Get the bleep out of my way," he said, per the Sentinel. Different visitor from Ohio, a scientist, repeatedly rammed a stroller into an employee because he was mad about being asked to leave a viewing area. Yet another Disney worker bee was headbutted by a 57-year-old Miami Beach, Florida tourist who was upset that his wife, who appeared to be able to walk without assistance, wasn't allowed to use the wheelchair line at the monorail station.
Well, yeah, because they have trouble with people abusing like some of the disability access things.
The guests will push the boundaries, says Tommy Fontenot, who has worked at Disney for 14 years. "We serve as emotional punching bags."
Yes.
He's seen coworkers crying in the break room. I can imagine that is the case for sure, because we've seen some shit. We've seen, talking about guesting in the viewing area. We I think talked before about how we waited all day
to see one of the last main spectacle parades.
Yeah, it was in the hub.
We sat on the corner in a thunderstorm.
Waiting for this parade, and this woman from New York showed up like at the last minute, and she, they tape it off. They tape the area off.
Because they need walkways for fire hazards and people can get in and out.
So she just like showed up at the last minute, and then she was, on the other side of the line, the tape, and there was this cast member was like, "Ma'am, you have to get." She's like, I paid good money to be here, and I'm going to stand here. He's like, "No, ma'am, this is like the floats are going to run you over. You need to stay behind the line." And she just, she was not going to leave. And I think ultimately she didn't leave, but they kind of pushed her back in. But that wasn't fair to the people that had waited. She wasn't in front of us. She was in front of some other people. But she just basically muscled her way in. And in a lot of cases, the cast members, unfortunately, just let the guests have their way. And I think it's gotten around, especially on these entitled message boards, that if you push Disney, they don't push back. A lot of times they'd rather just let the guests just walk all over them than have the hassle
of someone getting punched or
getting
scratched or physically assaulted. And we have stories on the blog all the time of different cast members getting physically assaulted because they didn't give a guest their own way. We've seen people behave like complete asshats towards cast members. It's just, and the strollers, I mean, I understand some people need strollers for legitimate reasons, but some of those people with the strollers are the most abusive dipshits. You've had your rib broken.
I tried to stop our daughter from getting run over. Somebody was going to run her over with a stroller in the World Showcase, and there was no one around you. Like, they didn't have to come at you like that. No, there was not. Yeah, it was over by the American Adventure between Italy and America over there somewhere. And I remember, because, I remember going down and I broke my rib again.
And you have a huge scar up your arm, which you still have it.
Yeah,
it was a bloody mess. And then we had another instance where they ran over our son's foot with a double stroller and he couldn't walk. Our daughter had her phone smashed and got all cut up when she was kind of thrown to the ground.
They ran her over trying to get to ride.
Yeah, the Flight of Passage. So it's just, it's not good. People just, when you go to Disney, I understand there's a Disney bubble and you forget your manners and you forget like there's other people around you, but you really need to remember that, when you're at Disney, other people are there for the same reason, and cast members are just doing their best, and a lot of them take a lot of shit and they still stay, and there's lots of jobs they can go to. So part of it's because they legitimately want to be there, and they legitimately like making magic for people, and you're making it harder and harder on them to continue to do that and to feel comfortable and happy there, and they aren't paid enough to put up with your shit. And I'm not talking about people who have legitimate reasons to be upset and you're talking to a cast member because you need help. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are just bullying and abusing cast members because they didn't get their own way about something. They don't have the control over that. And when it comes to canceling your trip or canceling, Disney Plus because you're mad about political stances of the company or, choices they make up high, blaming it on the cast members, it's not their fault. They can't do anything about it. It's like your job. You're your boss, and if you're down on the lower ranks, you don't get to go tell your boss what you should and shouldn't do because someone's mad about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people that hang out on Twitter think it's their jobs to tell their CEOs of the companies they work for, like, well, we're not going to, this is how we're going to do it.
And they get mad when they get canned. Like, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
It's bigotry, I tell you.
Yeah, so it's really unfortunate. A lot of people are getting caught in the crossfire of this. And again, I blame management because management put them in the crosshairs. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And they use them as a meat shield.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they do. They keep themselves protected. And like even in investor calls, only certain people that are like their trusted people, you know, like the companies that are the big investment firms get to ask questions.
Well, they made the mistake of letting that one group speak up about Gina Carano. And so they'll never make that mistake.
Well, I think that was at the regular investor thing where other people could have questions. And I have a feeling they told them they were going to ask one question and then asked a different one.
Yeah, because they never would have answered or addressed that.
So I'm just asking, please be courteous to the cast members. If you call and cancel, which you can do it on your app, you don't have to call, because it's really not their fault.
Yep, and I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. So we're going to wrap this one up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Now he's just tasty, delicious, rotten flesh meat, which I can consume. Don't read into it too much.
Just like our museum, the cafe's open and Brewster is eager to serve. I don't think this was in the show. Run, 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 run. Oh, you got splatted. Oh, she was begging and you kicked her in the face.
I don't care.
Hey guys, Squid King here, and today we're in a...
Not girl boss at all. She is not a material girl.
She is not. Oh, it's Christmas time here in your mom. Nobody wants to join your mom.
What?
Like I can't even cook kid cuisine right. I would last about 2 minutes with Gordon Ramsay.
What? Where is he?
He's hiding. He's hiding from you.
Better.
Oh my God, you got the axe.
Walker, does this look like Steven Universe? Let me punch him! Well, I'm just here for the wax. Right where you belong.
Get in the dirt.
Well, that was a combination of events I probably shouldn't have put together. Anyways, let's open this bottle too.
Chica Pinata. Is that official?
Oh, no.
There's a bootleg.
Hello. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, it's Diamond Tool.
Let's make a farm.
Like and subscribe and buy my merch.
I mean, while you're here, you guys should like really like and subscribe and buy our merch, all of which we have.
That is true. You can't run them carrying trash. You can get away with one F-bomb per PG-13 movie.
I wish I'd known that sooner.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this effer up.
Yes.